I am recording audibly.
Give it a smack.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to another fun-filled episode of the Too Many Words podcast. This is episode 39. Jordan, how are you?
It's been a long day. We got some stuff done today, and we got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah. As you know, I am your host, Isaac William Joseph. As always, across the street, across the table, across the way is my best friend, Jordan. Just Jordan.
That's me.
And yeah, the time is 10:33 p.m. on a Thursday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you, my friends.
Yes, May the 4th be with you. That is the most amazing thing.
Space, spaceships, aliens, planets, galactic guns and stuff, blasters and stuff. You know, that's all filled up in here. Lightsabers and all the other good Star Wars and spacey kind of stuff. Jam pack it. We also got the Guardians of the Galaxy to talk about today. This is going to be great. The first double header multi-movie review in a singular episode. One's going to be short because we saw it last week. One is going to be very detailed.
I would say it's short because it's
depth.
a 40-year-old movie.
It will also be short because it is a 40-year-old movie. One will be much more detailed because we just saw it in theaters. We left the theater, 30 minutes ago. It's time to grind. All right. Any announcements from this week before we get into anything?
I'm thinking. What's our Instagram look like right now?
70 followers.
Okay, nice. That's all right. I'm trying to think. Do we have anything big planned for the podcast? Oh, the Mother's Day special is not happening.
It's happening.
What do you
it's
mean?
happening. I'm not gonna let my emotions sway things.
Well, this is news to me.
I know.
So.
I made the unprofessional ignorance to forget to tell you that I changed my mind. My mom's still expecting to do it. I never told her to not. So.
Okay.
So yeah, check that out. The Sunday after Mother's Day. Yeah.
I think we could probably still knock it out. What are you looking at?
Oh, I'm looking at our schedule because it's fully written out. Isn't that convenient? I could just turn around.
We can still schedule it for the.
Isn't that uber convenient when it's like actually being used for what it's used?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think we could still schedule it for the actual Mother's Day release.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Well, if you're down to do it, then I guess I am too.
But yeah, another thing happened this week. One of the men that I look up to acknowledged my existence on Instagram.
That he did.
So this week we are reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, written and directed by the same guy who has been making these Guardians movies and is taking over DC. The great James Gunn. James Gunn has quickly become one of the best modern day directors, cinematic influencers, and just really overall quickly becoming a very powerful man in the eyes of the whole world that is movie making. And yeah. What'd you say? Is he not one of the best right now? Is James Gunn not one of the best right now?
There's definitely ones that I would put much higher than him.
I'm not saying the best. But
he's probably like
he's up there.
Bottom 10 for me.
Bottom 10.
Like
so everybody that's making movies right now, he's at the bottom of the list.
Let me rephrase that. Top 10, but he's at the bottom of the list.
Okay. Whatever.
Hey man, like
I mean, there's Christopher Nolan. And
Christopher Nolan is probably by far one of my favorite.
And then there's M. Night Shyamalan
M. Night Shyamalan's good. He's all right. Yeah, he makes some pretty weird
and
stuff.
you know, Spielberg, he's still in the game. And
But
Scorsese's
Spielberg's
in the
the goat.
game.
He's in a league of his own. So
and
that's because.
But I'm talking about like after those guys are gone. I'm talking about like who do you think about when you think of 2020's cinema, 2010's cinema, stuff like that.
Honestly, I don't really think about anyone in particular.
Exactly. There's a reason why people say that Hollywood's dying, which I don't believe, but there's a lot of people that are just.
I think the what's the word? The environment, the vibe, the energy of Hollywood is dying. But like movies are gonna be a thing until the end of time.
You're absolutely right.
People are always gonna be wanting to watch something.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Oh, so I'm going to why I brought him up.
It's yes.
So James Gunn posted 3 days ago on Instagram a photo of himself, Mantis, Drax, Star-Lord, Gamora, Kraglin, and Nebula. And
well, he's not just Kraglin; he's also Rocket Raccoon.
just wait. I make a dumb joke, right? I'm like, so no pics with Rocket and Groot after all these years? Wow, guys. Which, by the way, got 117 likes on my Instagram. But it's fine. Then James Gunn himself responds to it. I don't know if he's trying to like. That's his joke, where like he pretends to not get it, or he genuinely did not get it. I feel like he's too deep into like the comedy aspect of things to not get it, but sometimes I don't get it, right? So he says Sean, his brother Sean Gunn, plays Rocket on set. We have lots of pictures with Vin and Bradley from the premiere Thursday. Went right over his head, I think. And I'm like, holy crap, James Gunn noticed me, and he thinks I'm being an ass. Great.
I bet
Wonderful.
that really does make you gotta feel great. You got something around your neck there.
Yeah, I put headphones on for the character, but yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. In spirit of this, of tonight's episode, we have a Star Wars hat on and a Star-Lord jacket on.
And I'm wearing most of my Hy-Vee uniform.
Yeah, you wear Hy-Vee stuff all the time, buddy. Girl. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But yeah, I was like, oh, James, relax, man. It's all good. I was making a dumb joke about CGI characters not being in the photo. Really looking forward to seeing the film. You are truly one of the best at what you do.
He didn't respond to that, did he?
He did not.
Did he like it though?
No, I'm pretty sure the way that celebrities are. If they do ever respond to people, because I made that comment when he posted it 10 minutes ago. Yeah, and so I was probably one of like the couple hundred only on there that he saw, and he responded to it. And by the time I made a second comment, there's thousands of comments on there already, So that's kind of how that works. But yeah. That's pretty cool, getting recognized by one of the people that you try to follow artistically.
Yes, it is. It's very cool.
Yeah, I almost want to print it out and frame it as a joke. The day he noticed me.
Notice me, senpai.
Plaque it up. But yeah, do we just dive right into this, guys? Last week. Oh, you got another Hot Wheels car.
I've actually been saving this one.
Okay.
I got
a knife in here still.
I got this car on Monday. I saved this one because I think this might actually be your favorite one.
Ooh, Chevrolet, and it's green. Everybody check that out. All right. Yeah, nice branding.
I bought this one with you in mind. I didn't buy it solely because I thought it was going to be your favorite. But this one I think definitely might be. You might be like, holy shit.
If it's an El Camino or a Blazer, you're very predictable, my friend.
It's not, but okay.
That was actually a charm. Hot Wheels. Man, there's so much cardboard that goes into this. You know, it's like $10. Oh my, whoa. Why? This is bougie packaging on the inside. Is this felt? Oh my goodness. I almost don't want to touch it. Low rider. Okay. What is this, Jordan?
It's a
Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo.
1975. What the heck? This thing got suspension? Damn, Holmes. What in the world? I've never seen anything like this. Oh, what the This is the first Hot Wheels car with posability.
It's not the first, but you know.
Wow, here you go.
Was I right?
I really like that. I really like that.
This color is absolutely magnificent. Holy shit.
Cool, cool, cool. That was a cute little detour. Jordan, say something.
Say something?
Say something.
Cock.
Okay, that's inappropriate. Do we now dive into the Star Wars
Yes.
40th anniversary review? Which of the original trilogy, Episode 6? What is that? Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Return of the Jedi. Yeah, baby. See, I get all these names mixed up because I'm not that much of a Star Wars head, but I still appreciate a good Star Wars movie, especially if I ever get the chance to say, Jordan included, we saw an original trilogy Star Wars movie in theaters with surround sound, with the extra large theater set. Not the IMAX. It's a lot bigger than IMAX. But we got the what? The XL? We got the XL one? Is that what it said?
Yeah.
But yeah. Original trilogy. Don't miss the opportunity.
Sorry.
So guys, I finally wrote up. Oh, you cannot see that at all on the screen. Wrote up. It might change with how how well this goes. Our own way of reviewing movies. Okay, it's a format. It's 7 steps, and yeah, let's see how this goes. Jordan, what movie did we watch?
Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
Yep. Written by
George Lucas.
Directed by
George Lucas.
Starring Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, and
Mark Hamill.
I was gonna say Mark Hamill. For some reason I still get his name mixed up with Henry Cavill. It's like
Really?
Generic white dude name and Mole or Vul for the second half of that last name. But yeah, Mark Hamill. Jordan, how was your theater experience?
It's a movie I've seen several times already. So it did get. There were moments where I was like, "Oh, this is still going," but there was also moments where I was like, "Holy shit, this is like a big deal." Like, honestly, all of the scenes.
Hey! You're getting too far ahead of yourself. I'd asked you about the theater experience, man.
Okay, so the theater.
What did you drink? What was your drink for the movie? What was your drink?
I had a drink before the movie. I had myself a beer. I don't even remember what it was though. It was good though. It had a cherry in it, and then I also had just a large soda.
I had a large soda before the movie. I had a Starry. a cherry flavored Starry.
I boycott Starry, so
Whatever, you freaking weirdo. But yeah, you had an apocalypse sandwich that was $20.
yeah, I had a $20 sandwich. It was really good though.
Yeah.
It was okay. So yesterday, I went and spent the same amount of money at where was that? Where was that?
Doesn't matter.
Wendy's.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, damn. I spent the same amount of money. I got 2 sandwiches, a fry, and a drink. The sandwich I got at the theater was way better than all of that.
Honestly, it looked very good.
It was
pretty
fantastic.
expensive over there,
It was,
but pretty
honestly,
almost reasonable bang for your buck. I
I can say that, yeah.
I had this sandwich called the Godfather. It was like a Subway sandwich.
You had the good fella.
But if you want it spicy, it's called the Good Fella. And you bet your ass I ordered in an accent.
Yeah, and then he proceeded to talk like that for a while, and I got really annoyed with it.
Yeah, kind of like I always do it. You know, whenever I put on a voice, I just do it for a little bit longer than everybody's okay with.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our theater experience. It was quite grand, pretty nice. How was the seats? Good reclining
They were very
seats.
nice.
You know, it's very one of those rare situations where the leg reclines and then it also reclines in the back of your head too, not just the regular lean back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's cut that. Move on to step 3, spoiler-free analysis. Pitch this movie in a way that you would recommend it or not recommend to someone who's never seen this movie somehow in their life.
If you have daddy issues, but also really like space,
Okay.
you should watch this.
Okay. Okay. You know, it's one of the relics of pop culture, you know? People talk so highly of the trilogy in general. It's kind of silly, you know, doing this movie review over a 40-year-old movie, but yeah, I mean, yeah. Is this what would you rank episode 6 on the all-time Star Wars movies?
6 is probably number
2.
Number 3 for me.
Number 3. Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable. Yeah, it's got like a lot of big, you know, moments that will stick with the Star Wars fandom forever, of course. There's some funny moments, like truly silly moments. This is basically like going and watching a movie for the first time in theater, because like the last time I had seen any of the original trilogy from start to finish was when I was like in elementary school. Like that's how far detached I have been from Star Wars, because like, I mean, nobody's really detached from Star Wars, because Star Wars is everywhere. But yeah, it's been a very
You're about
fat
as
minute.
detached from Star Wars as you can be.
Yeah. Like everybody knows who Luke Skywalker is. Everybody knows who Darth Vader is. Yoda, R2D2, C-3PO, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca. Trademarks. Faces. Familiar
Yes,
faces
yes.
and names. Just everywhere. So, you know, I guess if you haven't seen it yet, obviously go check it out. It's one of those movies, I think the original trilogy, I would say, you know, as Jordan would put it, one of those movies you have to see.
You said that more often than I did, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it is my favorite of the original trilogy, so.
I was pretty big on the point that you have to see it in theaters, but in the question of having to see it at all, you have to see this at all. You know. What are some parts that you really liked?
So a lot of it goes back to being in that theater experience.
Okay.
Spoiler if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, you're
Yep, this is
probably
the
kinda
spoiler
stupid.
warning now.
The ending scene where Luke, Darth Vader, and Emperor Palpatine are on the Death Star and they're watching the fleet get beat to shit. That was what made it really real for me. because that's the scene, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is.
This is what, Star Wars?
Yeah, this is Star Wars.
This is Star Wars. Yeah. But see, a part I really like is actually a part that stuck with me since I was a little kid, was Darth Vader saving his son and acknowledging that there is love in his self. You know, even though the after effects of getting electrocuted by the Emperor eventually kills him, and it just proper build up to something that can be touching. Saving your son after being dedicated to the dark side for excuse me, at least I don't know how many years, however old Luke was supposed to be in this movie. 20, so 20 years.
20 or 21, I think, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a really good one. I really did appreciate how comedic it was. I don't remember that being like a characteristic of the movie. It was quite comedic in a lot of points in the movie. I mean, what?
The speeder bike chase scene when the dude just goes doink off of the fucking tree.
Dude, a lot of those wipeouts were so freaking silly, bro.
It's so goofy.
What is something that you didn't like in this movie?
It made me realize the pacing of the original trilogy Star Wars movies are so fucking slow.
Yeah.
Like,
I can agree with that.
There's a lot that happens, but like they just, I don't know, pacing I think it was George Lucas's biggest problem in at least this era. It's also the same problem I actually have with episode 1. But from then on out, that's when it starts getting better, I think.
Yeah, my video production professor, he I forgot which original trilogy movie he used, but he was talking about the artistry in Show Don't Tell. And it was like this spaceship high-speed chase in space, and they were shooting at each other. So yeah, he's really good at Show and Tell, Don't Tell. But yeah, this movie was definitely slow at points. I can agree. I mean, you heard me in the theater. The very end, where Princess Leia can just feel it that Luke Skywalker is just fine. A little bit lazy writing, but counter argument. Jordan says it's character development. There's a 1.5 million ways that you can display that she might have some Jedi powers, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It was supposed to show like, because that sort of thing happens. That's like a Star Wars trope. In that movie alone, Luke was very frequently like, I can feel Darth Vader's here. Like, that's a thing. Like,
yeah.
It's just
there's a disturbance in the Force.
Yeah, like that's essentially what that was.
Yep. If you do lazy writing enough times, it immediately just becomes part of your signature.
Okay.
Beloved by the diehards. All right. Step 6, awards. Jordan, who had the best acting in this movie?
James Earl Jones.
His voiceover?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I'll take it. Why?
Because it's fucking James Earl Jones, my dude.
Okay.
His voice has power, it has eminence, it has presence. And he's not even in the movie, dude. He's just the voice.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to deliver these performances that make you feel real emotions.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've always been a great admirer of him.
Mufasa.
Yeah.
Best acting for me. There was this being a 40-year-old movie,
You can see its age.
in the natural evolution of what good acting is. This is pretty difficult for me.
If I had to choose,
I'd say Harrison Ford.
he's a good one, but he's always been a really good actor.
Of course. Chalk it up to Harry.
But honestly, if I had to choose an actual physical person, I'd probably choose oh fuck, what's his name? Lando.
Calrissian.
Yeah, but what's his actor's name? I can't remember it right now.
I don't know. We just go by people's names.
Okay. I know it though. I know it, and it's bothering me.
Martin Luther King.
I am gonna go off of that in a little bit. I still think that some of the best casting that's ever happened in film industry is casting Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, as a younger version of him. That was by far genius.
Yeah, that solo movie.
Yeah.
Still a movie I have not seen, but I would like to see it. I heard it's hated.
Billy D. Williams.
I heard it's very much hated.
I don't think it's worth the hate, but like, it's a Star Wars movie, you can tell, and it's just all right. The only thing, like, it's got a really good cast, and they all deliver great performances. They chose the wrong person to play a young Harrison Ford, I feel, but that's just me.
Best scene.
I'll go back to that scene I mentioned earlier on the Death Star, like that entire section, honestly.
Okay. Best line.
I am a Jedi like my father before me.
Okay, cool.
You're not answering these questions.
I'm not.
Why?
I can barely remember what happened in the movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
What a loser.
Best shot in the movie. We pay attention to cinema over here on the Too Many Awards podcast. Of course, best shot is an award.
I'd probably say closer to the beginning, when Luke Skywalker is on that desert skiff, is what they call it. The little floating thing, not the big sail barge, the side one that he was about to get pushed off the plank on.
Sure.
He's standing on that, and he's got his lightsaber in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very common screen grab of it that you've probably seen. That is probably one of the best shots.
Okay. Best shot for me.
I think that
I really like moving shots, and one of the many times they just did something that was pretty simple, where Darth Vader and the Emperor are walking down the line that is, bordered by standing in line clones, and
not clones.
not clones.
No.
What do you mean?
Stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers. Sorry. Stormtroopers. And you just see stormtrooper after stormtrooper pass by, oh so symmetrically, and I'm like, that's clean. That's really clean. Jordan,
Yes, sir.
score this movie out of 100.
79.
79. You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I liked it a little bit less than you. I'll go 78.
I give it a 79 because it does show its age. It holds up in modern cinema, I guess, but you can tell it's a 40-year-old movie.
Yeah. Yeah, some green screen outline and stuff like that.
I'm trying to if I was going based off of my nostalgia boner and being a Star Wars nerd, I'd probably give it an 89. But I think 79 is a good reasonable number.
Any 13-year-old wouldn't be none the wiser. Love that movie. And that is the review for the Star Wars movie.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Return of the Jedi. Overall score, 78.5. Yeah. But hey, Jordan, what movie did we go see tonight? What are you doing?
Guardians of the Galaxy
What do you do?
Volume 3.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna put these on.
Okay.
I do not fit with my glasses. Can I make them fit? No, I'm not gonna. How long have we been waiting for this movie to come out?
Over 2 years.
Damn straight.
Maybe even more. I can't even tell. Maybe since the dawn of time I've been waiting for this movie. This... Oh my goodness. Jordan.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if this to be true, but stop me before I get ahead of myself. I'm probably the biggest Guardians fan that you know.
Yeah. You're the only Guardians fan I know.
I adored this movie. Oh, man. And, yeah, let's just get right into it. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3, written by James Gunn. Directed by James Gunn. Starring Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Will Poulter, Karen Gillan, Sean Gunn, Vin Diesel, Dave Bautista, Palm Clementieff. Is that how you say that?
I have no idea.
Shakwudi Iwuji, Bradley Cooper, and, featuring fellas like Sylvester Stallone, and I guess I'll stop it there. Jordan, how was your theater experience before we saw this movie?
I went and got some pretzel bites that were surprisingly really good, and they were like $7. And there's a lot of more of those in there than I thought there was gonna be. That was well worth $7.
I got a cheese pizza that was not worth $10. I should have gotten pretzel bites just like
honestly,
you did.
those are pretty great. I really liked those.
I guess I'll try those next time.
And the cheese sauce. We can talk about the cheese sauce.
Sauce.
We both had that.
The cheese sauce was great.
I'm going to take a picture of it so I can grab some of my own somewhere. But that was honestly some of the best cheese sauce I've ever had.
Yeah. I grabbed this AMC popcorn bucket. Tin. Popcorn tin. It's just basically like a crate that says Guardians Volume 3 on the front. Yeah, let's just get a closer look right here, babies. And it has a statue of Rocket Raccoon on the back. And, yeah. I always love getting custom buckets like this. Anybody who's been to my basement knows I have a pretty good, respectable collection of popcorn tins. Over on Jordan's side.
I don't know if you can see it right
Over
now.
on Jordan's side is two popcorns. Popcorn
No, I guess, yeah.
Popcorn
Forgot about
buckets
this one.
and a tin. We have the Mighty Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, and the Ant-Man helmet. Both can be opened, but never has been used to actually hold popcorn. You got to get really fun with these AMC edition popcorn tins, buckets, holders.
We were able to get that D&D one.
Yeah, we really missed out on that D20. But yeah, I have just regular popcorn bucket tins over in the other half of the basement. Those ones that we actually use for popcorn, because I just don't want to get really these special ones dirty. But yeah, amazing theater experience before that. Anyways, you see, the only reason why I got starry at the Palms is because they had Pepsi machines.
Yeah.
Jordan, no movie hits quite the way it does without a traditional Coke.
I don't know.
Large Coke.
I'll disagree with that.
I'm a large Coke guy. Always get large Coke for me.
I've always been a Pepsi guy. That's why I stole that hat from you. I'm just a Pepsi guy through and through. That's always gonna be my thing. Like I was honestly ecstatic that they had a Pepsi quote unquote freestyle at the Palms Theater.
Yeah.
I'd never seen something like that before.
Really?
I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
I think I've only seen them at the Palms, to be honest.
I wish we had that Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee had the Coca-Cola freestyles.
I'm more of a Coke guy anyways. for me, it's basically trademark at this point. You gotta have a Coke with your movie.
Yeah.
Lord, popcorn with it. You know, it just it just creates the what the specialness of going to the movies is for me, at least. Jordan, spoiler-free analysis. Let's pitch the movie, baby. Did you like the first two? Go see this one, obviously.
No, I'm gonna try to pitch it with it being like a standalone movie. Do you have family issues that you wish you could reconcile? Go watch this movie.
Honestly, dude, that's like, I love it when I can actually like sense the moral to the story. When I can actually pick up on what it's trying to teach me. And yeah, bro, they were so heavy on family, but you know what else they were really heavy on? Well, if you take a look at the direct arc of the villain, what was his name?
The Omnipotent or something like that?
Well, you take the main arc of the bad guy, and then you compare that to the opposing arc of Rocket. It's be who you are. Don't try to be anything else. Be who you are. Because at the very beginning of the movie, in Act 1, the big bad guy, he's like, this song is called, and then he said like this foreign language, and then he's like, then it translates to something about don't be as you are, but be as you are supposed to be.
The high evolutionary.
Yeah, high evolutionary. And yeah, I think there's just multiple moments in the movie where it talks about just be who you are. Be who you are and see where that takes you on its own. And then also, you know, like you said, taps on the importance of family. And yeah, I really like that. Yeah, this will bring a tear to your eye. Maybe you won't full-fledged cry, but my eyes were wet sometimes. Were your eyes wet sometimes?
Yes.
Dude,
I was expecting a death. I guess, yeah.
Spoiler-free analysis. All right, spoiler warning.
Well, hey, all I said was I was expecting a death.
Spoiler warning. Was that our spoiler-free analysis?
Are we done? I don't know. I'm asking you.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Star-Lord looks very good in this movie.
Chris
Pratt. I don't know if he went on some sort of health regimen for this movie, but he looked really good. A little bit on the leaner side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looked tan. He just looked like scruffy in that really handsome, attractive way. You know what I'm saying?
The Han Solo kind of way.
Yeah. He looked very nice in this movie. He didn't look pudgy or anything. Maybe some of the suits he was wearing made him look bulgy, but that was pretty much it. Really looks good. I loved the character design of Gamora. Did you not like it?
Just, I don't know, it didn't strike me as anything different.
I mean, her hair was different. I think I liked it. It really showed a new Gamora. Yeah. A character design I did not like is Nebula's. I mean, she looked good in the suit that everybody was wearing, but outside of that, she kind of looked weird. I don't know. Maybe she like lost curvature in her design. But I don't know. She really stood out in this movie, though. She really did. But yeah. Let's go into your spoiler warning for Guardians Volume 3. Jordan, what did you like about this movie?
What did I like?
What did you like?
Other than the movie in its entirety.
Yeah.
Are there better movies? Yeah. Are there worse movies? Oh, yeah.
A lot more worse movies than there are better movies, I'll tell you that much. Come on,
I'm trying
man.
to think of anything specific.
Spoiler it up.
I kind of liked the dynamic of Will Poulter,
Really?
yeah. I can't remember his name right now for some reason.
Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock, yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked his dynamic, honestly.
Yeah, that being?
A child.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A big oaf?
Not necessarily a big oaf, just like this is essentially an adult man
Who is probably like 5.
with the mentality of a child and like with literally godly superpowers.
Yeah.
And like he you could see like he's kind of somewhat discovering himself.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's just I don't know, I really liked his character actually.
Yep. Leaves enough room for you guys to make 3 more movies about him.
It was honestly it was completely surprising. I took it a completely different direction than I was anticipating.
I think you are not alone in that regard. With that said, I'm going to leave that for the parts I didn't like. Anyways, the parts I really, really liked. Well, let's talk about where every moment where James Gunn actually like put effort, which was, basically the whole movie. But James Gunn, he's so surgical and specific with what he needs to happen in his movies. Because, Jordan, we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Not only do we care about our main 5 characters, but then there's a lot more characters that we've met on the way to the 3rd movie. And holy cow, man, there was a freaking character arc for basically every significant freaking person in this movie. Kraglin had a character arc. Cosmo went from being a bad dog to a good dog, Gamora had a character arc. Everybody had a character arc. It was so great, dude. And what makes it really special is especially, even in their 3rd movie, they're still having problems.
Yeah.
Issues. You know why? Because families have problems.
Yeah.
Real life families that have lived with each other for decades have real life problems. And then they showed that they prospered through and are still willing to open up and be accepting of change and adjusting to how they perceive and all this other stuff. Literally, Nebula yells at Drax and Mantis about how useless they are in the freaking group. They are a liability. They're no good. And Drax and Mantis both show great usefulness in the following scenes in trying to get off of that giant spaceship. And to even go far as near the end of the movie where tear down my face, disband the Guardians of the Galaxy, all but 2 members. Nebula goes as far as says, I need you, Drax. I need you to watch Nowhere with me.
I'm gonna go into my. I was expecting a death. Like, it was really played up that Drax was gonna die because this was, it's supposed to be David Bautista's last Marvel movie, and then like that didn't happen. Although they kind of, I think, hinted at it a little bit, like with
they hinted at a lot of people almost dying in this movie.
I think just about everyone actually, except for.
Maybe that's the spoiler in this movie. The spoiler is that no one dies. because everybody was guessing, oh, who's gonna die in this movie? It's gonna be Dave Bautista because it's his last freaking movie. He's made that public. It's his last Marvel movie as Drax, and they've pushed it so hard in the trailer that something might happen to Rocket or something might happen to Peter Quill, or what has happened to Gamora and all that stuff. And, Nebula gets messed up pretty bad in some parts of this movie as well. You don't know. You're constantly guessing, oh, this is it. This is it for Peter. This is it for Rocket. This is it for Drax. This is it for Nebula. But nobody dies. They really did Fast and the Furious 7 on our asses. Where everybody thought that they were going to kill off Paul Walker, but they really just sent him off on his own destiny. And that's what happened to all of the Guardians at the end of this movie. They all set off on their own destiny. Isn't that wild?
Okay. It is, honestly.
I loved absolutely...
It was a very happy ending.
Every single arc. Yeah, it was very happy. Because, maybe that was just James Gunn's evil plot to, say, hey, it's taking a long time because it's a pretty depressing movie, which it was at points, right? But, nobody came out and said that nobody was going to die. Matter of fact, everybody was just still let loose. Wild accusations of who is going to die. And I thought Peter Quill was going to die. I definitely thought it was either going to be Rocket, Peter, or Drax that was going to die. Or maybe even two, if not all three, were going to die. This was the first movie in a very long time where I actually believed that we were going to lose one of our characters. When I saw Rocket talk to his friends in heaven, I'm like, man, this is really it. Because I successfully avoided the trailer. I've seen snippets and bits, and I can keep on going back to this one screenshot that was in my head, which is Rocket's eyes full of tears, and I'm like, he's either watching someone die or he's dying. And I was like, this is where we lose Rocket. But it really did not make my eyes wet until he actually finally made it. And I don't think movies do this often enough, where the characters around them are oh so emotional, oh so grateful, oh so thankful that this person that they so care about came back with us, came back to life after almost dying. And it was super special. It really showed how much they truly cared about each other. And that's a really big thing about the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're a bunch of misfits, Jordan.
Yeah.
Who, on the surface, hate dealing with each other.
Yeah. It's definitely, like I said, it's kind of like the whole point.
Yeah. But they love each other. On really deep down.
I think the scene where Gamora and Nebula were getting into it, that little argument scene, when she goes
about Peter Quill.
I guess yeah, but why they were trying to save this Rocket Raccoon, and Gamora says, "I'm family," and then Nebula says, "So is he."
That's what I was gonna say too.
Was that's and then Nebula starting to cry a little bit when they found out Rocket was okay.
Mm-hmm.
That honestly, there was a lot of Nebula character development in here.
Yeah, what's crazy is that before seeing this movie, it almost seemed like Nebula cared the least about these other guys in the Guardians. She's just so, they showcased it in the movie where she was yelling at these kids. She's so emotionally detached when it comes to... She puts aggression before patience.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. And, so that makes it, very assuming to think that she just doesn't care about the people that are around her. But that makes it all the more worthwhile when you see her caring so much about these guys.
Oh yeah.
And that was a really good quote. I'm family. Well, he is too. That's great. Another part that I really liked is the obvious Vin Diesel voice. We are Groot, or I am Groot. That was definitely a point where he's like, we're family. Do you want to talk about that? You love that.
I think that was pretty great. Yeah. Like over the course of the movie, I think like it was at that scene when I started to really notice it. It was like over the course of the movie, Groot's voice became more and more Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Huge spoiler. At the very end of the movie, Groot says, "I love you guys."
Yeah.
Like in English.
Yeah.
And I don't know necessarily how to take that. I don't know. So
that's on my list of what I don't like about the movie.
Hang on. Let me get to it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think it's one of two things. You notice how also at that end of the movie, just before that scene, Gamora understood Groot. I think Groot can choose who he wants to have understand him. And I think that scene where we heard him say, I love you guys, may have been...
just the perception of everybody else around him.
That or like the audience finally having connection to Groot, this new Groot, and being able to understand him.
This new Groot, he's King Groot in the next shot.
Or it was just him speaking English because Groot can do that.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily sure which one it is. I'm okay with either one. I actually really like that. But in that instance when he said that, that was just Vin Diesel talking.
I'm trying to think of another part that I really liked because... oh, yeah. Rocket's... dude, this is 10 years deep at this point. Rocket finally acknowledges that he is a raccoon. And he is proud of it.
That was something I wanted to talk about, too.
He is proud of it because he sees all these baby raccoons that are in the same situation as him. And he finally...
when he says his name. I'm Rocket. Rocket.
Yeah, what was like his number name?
321B or something like that.
Yeah. He's like, I'm Rocket. Rocket Raccoon.
That's pretty cool.
And he finally said Rocket Raccoon. And dude, that's like the James Gunn level of character development that you go see his movies for. And it's something that really makes you excited for the next chapter of DC movies, man. Like I'm not a DC hater. I sure think that DC fans are freaking annoying. But it really is something to look forward to. I'm ready to love DC movies, man. I'm ready to love them. Maybe not as much the way I love Marvel movies, but I'm really ready to appreciate some of these passion projects that he's really wanting to do.
Is gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Is gonna be really
good. Don't freaking not take me to that one. Okay, if you go there with like your dad or someone, you're not my friend anymore. Okay, it's gonna be the Isaac and Marcellus show.
I wanted to say, I kind of saw the whole Vin Diesel voice thing coming.
Really?
A little bit.
Really?
Remember when I saw this and I said his face.
What? Wait, saw what? Saw what? Show the camera. Tell us what it is.
The Groot action figure that I seen on last week's episode. When I saw his face, I was like, that looks quite a bit more like Vin Diesel. And then it's like, okay.
Vin Diesel walked up to James Gunn about a year ago. Hey man,
I'm ready to actually.
I'm having another movie come out this year. Can we just remind people that I voiced Groot and then get them to think about the new movie that I'm in this year? I scratch your back, you scratch mine. That kind of thing. Okay. And James Gunn's like, sure, I don't care. I'm done with Marvel after this.
I don't think that's actually true.
You think he'll still work on some movies, even though he's gonna be super involved with DC?
He'll still be a director. That's what he has fun doing.
Yeah, but like, I think James Gunn has like said that like he's done with Guardians after this.
The Guardians, maybe not Marvel though.
You think he'll like work on like the smaller whatever
If-
Star-Lord's doing kind of thing?
Maybe if Disney wants to pay him enough, I'm sure he'll gladly do it.
Dude, can you just imagine this?
I mean, just look at the power.
like
that...
in 10 years' time, James Gunn is the guy that breaks the wall between Marvel and DC.
well, it's
And
gonna
we
happen
have some of the
eventually.
most insane crossover movies of all time, and it's gonna mark cinema.
James Gunn
forever.
is gonna be the one that introduces the one and only character that Marvel and DC share.
You think so?
I'm calling that. I'm calling it right now, live. Like that's been a prediction I had since I heard he was becoming like one of the heads of DC. He is gonna be the one that introduces that.
Yeah, he's like the only guy in Marvel that's got friends in high places on both sides.
Exactly.
Maybe not the only guy, but the top guy.
I mean, there's a reason why he got rehired after being fired.
yeah.
So,
I mean, everybody was pissed.
yeah, people fucking started rioting.
But yeah. So let's move on to parts that we didn't like. That I loved how long that the what we liked part was. But what was some parts that we didn't like, Jordan?
The comedy was a bit much sometimes.
Okay.
Sure, there was some of the best one-liners I've ever heard.
Open the fucking door. Sorry, that was my one F-bomb for the show.
But like certain moments where it's like, okay, that was completely unnecessary. It goes into why I actually don't like Drax's character.
Really?
He has always very much so irritated me.
Yeah, like reading the comics, he is a pretty serious character. He is not as dumb in the comics. He's actually quite smart sometimes in the comics. So, maybe that's... I mean, even Batista has voiced how much of a dumb oaf he is, and, he doesn't like that. It was very different than what he expected, but, yeah, continue.
I mean, that was about it, honestly.
Okay. Well, what part of Drax were you like, oh brother, this is just unnecessary?
The couch scene was pretty stupid, but
Oh, yeah,
I'll admit I didn't hate that one.
They kept going back to that though, like 3 times. I don't know about 3 times.
And I was also kind of upset that they kind of took away that little bit of development when they were on that ship, and they said that they thought Drax was stupid, and then they just wiped his memory from that.
Yeah, that was supposed to be funny, but nobody in the theater laughed at that part.
Yeah,
Nobody
thought that was
did.
a bit
Cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have been an opportunity for some real character development for Drax.
Yeah, like really
And,
think about himself.
Who he is and who he's becoming. Yeah, and then they're just like, haha, thank God I had to,
Yeah. You guys are lucky I was strong enough to take down that door. Oh, okay, we're just gonna forget that ever happened, huh?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Just Drax being Drax, him leaving the ship, that actually frustrated me a lot. I was like, why?
Oh, well, there's got to be issues in a movie, Jordan. Not every movie can be 5 minutes long. Go check out the film project on my YouTube.
I don't know the part where they got on the ship after they had jumped off the ship was just that entire section was just like, this is the stupidest thing. I do not like this.
Well, there's a lot of movies that are frustrating like that because the way you probably already
really
know
felt
this.
like they were trying to create problems for themselves to me. Like it felt a little forced.
Well, the way movies and storytelling in general should be is this happens, but this happens.
Yes.
Therefore, this has to happen.
Yes.
It ties in with another rule that I heard, which is nothing can happen by chance unless it's bad. And all those things that you thought were very frustrating were bad things, so.
I shouldn't even say frustrating. It was just annoying. It's like, okay, that was a bit predictable, but like, I feel like they could have done something similar better. I don't know how. I'm not a director, so like, just that's my one big gripe with the movie.
What I did not like, I mean, they cut it out real quick at the beginning, but they had to reestablish that Mantis and Star-Lord were brother and sister, which it's not really significant, especially when they don't really do much in the story with that. I mean, they kind of just lazily just, oh, you're my sister, or yeah, he's your brother. It kind of reminds me of those, bad videos on the internet where they try to set up a relationship. Hey, bro, what are you doing, step bro?
Yeah.
Hey, sis. Stuff like it kind of reminded me of gross stuff like that. So, yeah. Yeah, I just felt like that part was forced and it was just a little cringy. But the big thing I didn't like, something that you appreciated. I mean, my rule is I'm not gonna knock a movie because it did not meet my expectations that I completely created on my own.
Yeah.
But Adam Warlock was completely not the bad guy in this movie.
Yeah.
He was just an obstacle in this movie. He probably has like less than 5 minutes total runtime on screen.
I would not agree with that at all. I think he was like actually quite a major character. There was, I'd say, Act 2 he was pretty absent in, but Act 1 obviously.
I don't know. For me, he was the character that I kept on forgetting was there. Truly. With that said, I'm happy that they did go with, he's part of the Guardians now because he is pretty significant in the comics on the Guardians.
He's
so
also, like,
I never
one of the
expected
seriously
him.
most powerful people.
I never expected him to per se lose in this movie. I did expect him to join the Guardians or at least be a good guy by the end of this movie. So there's that. But yeah, I thought it was just definitely Adam Warlock versus the Guardians of the Galaxy of this movie, and it was definitely not that.
Honestly, that's what I thought it was going to be too initially.
But I don't know. I maybe it's like the same reason why people don't like Love and Thunder. There was not enough moments where Adam Warlock seemed like a badass. He did save Peter Quill.
I thought there was a lot of moments where he seemed like a badass. Although he did keep falling on his face. I liked that. I actually thought that was funny. But
I don't know. I feel like he just had more silly moments than really charismatic, cool moments. Which, I just don't want him to be the new Drax.
Yeah.
Don't need him to be the new Drax. I want him to...
Again, I mean, don't forget, like I said, he has the mind of a child. I think as the films and movies go on, we'll see him grow up and develop as a character.
Yeah.
I think Will Poulter, like, this was supposed to be a big deal for him, big role for him. So, like, I think he'll probably put some requests for how he wants to portray the character.
Yeah.
I think he'll want to eventually play him as, like, the guy.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see where any of the Guardians go after this.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to be the guy? Is it going to be Rocket? Is it going to be Adam Warlock? Are they going to go solo with Star-Lord doing his own adventures?
I think Star-Lord is going to have his own movie. I
mean, Star-Lord had his own comic book line.
I think I fully think he's going to have his own movie. I think they're probably going to do an animated show for the new Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that they're going to do something for Gamora as well.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think that's just the end. Maybe something for Mantis. Maybe she'll show up in the animated Guardians show. But that's my predictions.
Awards. Best acting.
I'm going to be honest. Some of the acting in this movie was not that great.
You think so?
Yeah. I'd say probably the main antagonist. Yeah.
You think the best acting was from the main antagonist?
Yes.
Honestly, he did wow me a little bit too. You know, he had some really great passion in it. But as much as I liked his performance, I really didn't want to give it to him. I'm thinking. I'm still thinking. Yeah, it's gotta go to him.
I'd say
gotta go
second
to
place, maybe Sean Gunn or Bradley Cooper, but
I could go second place, Gamora. I think Gamora did very well.
her character just pissed me off.
Well, I think she did very well considering what was asked of the character, which is pretend that you barely have a relationship with these people. You
Pretend the last 2 movies you acted in didn't happen.
Yeah, take away the chemistry that you already have with these actors and their characters. Play it back a little bit, and that's your character. That's your inspiration. So yeah, I think what, I'll give it to Gamora. Zoe Saldana did very, very good in this movie. As much as her character, it was sad to watch her not believe
She had
that
some
she
real
was in
character
love.
development, though.
Yeah. Best scene.
I think you and me both know exactly which one that is.
There's a new hallway scene in the Marvel Universe.
It's
fellas.
not a real one, but I think it gets the honorary award or title.
So in the third act, Beastie Boys starts playing. They have this slow-mo walk to these doors. Everybody gets their own shot one at a time, and then they do that wide shot again of the whole crew walking in slow motion. Obviously, it's a trope, but it's a badass trope. It's never gonna be a bad trope. It's great. And then there's Drax pulling open the elevator slowly to reveal this giant band of bad guys that their number one duty is stop the Guardians of the Galaxy. And guess what? Instead, you get this epic, wonderfully choreographed, wonderfully planned, wonderfully shot scene of the Guardians just kicking ass the way the Guardians do. And oh my goodness, there was so many small parts within this great, 40-second segment that was just amazing. It's something that you have to see. It's something that you definitely have to see. And, my best scene, that's definitely my best scene. That's definitely Jordan's best scene. But, Jordan, what was best line? I think you already said it.
Did I say it? Oh, I guess yeah.
Or did you have something else in mind?
The Rocket Raccoon one. Honestly, that one was pretty good. I really liked that.
Is Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where he finally admits.
Acknowledge his own name.
Yeah. That one's good. I really liked.
Get in the fucking car. Open the fucking door.
Even though that was super funny. That's an honorable mention. But one that actually makes me emotional is Nebula saying Drax was not born to be a destroyer. He was born to be a dad. And that's really touching. Like, really touching, because I want to be a great dad when I finally am one. And but yeah, that one for emotion. The one that you mentioned for comedy. Just the silliness of her literally asking, "What do I do now?" He's like, "Open the door." Oh, that it was just great. It was great. Chris Pratt's comedic timing is the reason why he became Star-Lord in the first place, because James Gunn just thinks that he's a comedic freaking genius and loves working with him.
He had the greatest line in all of Parks and Rec.
I don't watch Parks and Rec, so I don't know.
I watched the whole thing. It was completely just improv and off the cusp. And the writer for it was like, he admits that it was the greatest line, and it was from Chris Pratt, and it infuriates him that he didn't write it. It's something like he's looking up like symptoms or like what a sickness could be, and the computer can't reach the internet, and he goes, it says here you have something like internet not found or something like that. I don't remember exactly the words, but it is hilarious. It's so good.
Oh, thanks for not telling me, Jordan. Worst acting?
I think you might get upset at me for what I actually who I actually feel had the worst acting. And that is Chris Pratt.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm very good at sensing what is bad acting. I can only just remember a really good performance. But yeah, you think that Chris Pratt had bad acting? Tell me why, baby girl.
Specifically in this movie, it just didn't feel like he had as much energy behind it this time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think. See, I almost didn't want to say who had the worst acting because I can't really think of it without being too insulting onto anybody else. Let's just say James Gunn's wife.
Who did she play?
She played that blonde that was looking at all the security cameras.
Really?
Yeah. You know who that I'm talking about?
The one that got shot in the leg.
Yeah.
And just started screaming.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that's bad. She portrayed being shot in the leg pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think not much of anybody did bad.
Okay.
So I just had to throw it into some character that was not so significant.
Quote is Leslie, I typed your symptoms into the thing up here, and it says you could have network connectivity problems.
All right. I'm sure it was a lot funnier on the show.
It was.
Worst scene.
Worst scene. What the deuce?
Cardboard box. Don't worry about it. Worst scene. If you don't have an answer, I do.
The aforementioned scene where they made Drax forget his character development.
That was pretty bad.
That
was pretty bad. That's a really good selection. That was pretty bad. I think a really bad one was just when they were in the elevator with that red girl being held hostage, and Peter Quill just keeps on pressing on the issue that Gamora should love him.
I really liked that scene, actually.
Maybe it was designed to, but it really made me cringe every single time he just jumped back into it, and the elevator one was the worst part. I really did not like that part. But you actually have a really good analysis that, they just made Drax forget that moment. And yeah, it's like if Drax doesn't have memory of that happening and Mantis and Nebula are going to pretend that moment never happened, then it didn't happen.
Yeah. What was the point of including it?
Did not. Yeah. Best shot in the movie.
Did we not just do this?
No.
Okay, I guess shots are different than scenes. Scenes are okay.
It could be the same if you want it to be.
No, I think shot has. For me, shot is a still frame shot.
Yep.
Like a screen grab.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's
for me.
moving.
No.
Okay.
Like just a picture.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a good one.
Well, for me, it is moments before that hallway scene where Drax is pulling open the elevator, and you could screen grab. You know, it probably helps that the Beastie Boys is playing in the background, but you see all these guys that are just waiting for him through the elevator doors, and you know that stuff's about to get real.
Yeah.
Either that shot or just, you know, the wide shot that you see in every Guardians movie of all of them walking towards the camera, neutral shot. But yeah, I really liked that Drax opening up the elevator. Another shot that I like is I almost don't like it because it almost gave me a headache. Is that point where the main antagonist was standing in front of this humanoid that's running on a hamster wheel for 2 hours, and it was kind of like running with them but slower, and
That was
it
a good
panned
shot.
out. That was a really good shot too. What was your favorite shot? What's the best shot in this movie?
I'm gonna go with that one actually, the hamster wheel. I
Yeah,
like that.
That was a
very
really
creative,
good one.
And I liked how he did it.
Yeah. All right. Last thing for this movie. Score this movie out of 100.
86.
86. I'm going to give it a 92.
Honestly, I enjoyed Love and Thunder more than this movie.
You know, I was thinking of this. I think when it comes to movie overall, I'll take Guardians 3 over Love and Thunder. But when it comes to high points, I think Love and Thunder has a lot more high points, full of energy. Like you sat next to me for both of these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple times I saw Love and Thunder, and I was like, I'm loving every second of this. I had a couple of times where I felt the same in Guardians, but
I honestly did not.
Thor:
really-
Love and Thunder had a couple high points that are almost a little bit unmatched when it comes to just being amazing, being significant, and just all around epic moments. Okay, because that's what you really shoot for in superhero movies. Okay, how many times do you see a superhero movie and you know the measurement of how many times can we get the audience to say, okay, that was badass? You know, because that's what superhero movies should be. They should be badass, okay? Sometimes they're heartfelt. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're just a little bit of everything because they need to remind us that superheroes are human too. But we need badassery in superhero movies. And there was a couple more badassery moments in Thor: Love and Thunder than there was Guardians of the Galaxy. But Guardians of the Galaxy has no shortage of badass moments.
No, it does not.
I think that was a great review of that movie. Do we stick to this format? What did you think of the format?
Honestly, I liked it.
Liked it? Okay. And what I want to do at the end of every movie review, see, this was a double header, so we didn't do this at the end of the Star Wars review. Jordan, what is a movie that stuck out to you in the previews, or just in general, what movie do you really want to go see next?
I mean, the Marvels, that's the next Marvel movie. That actually looks really good. I am very interested about the dynamic they're going to do for that.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it too.
Cuz like I don't know if I can think of like anything where they like something like that's been done. You didn't really, did you watch the trailer? No.
No, I mean I peeked and checked my phone and peeked and checked my phone, you know.
I am not going to talk about it, okay?
Okay. But yeah, that's the next movie that you're really excited for.
Of the trailers that they played for this movie specifically, I'd say yeah, that's probably the one I'm most excited for.
I'm really excited for this Flash movie that's coming out.
Don't get me wrong, I'm pumped as fuck for that. But like, I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it yet because I haven't seen the movie. I think I need to see the movie in order to get some real feelings.
Well, that's why we talk about the previews.
I guess yeah, but like I can't formulate an opinion on the trailer.
Okay. I mean, I'm expecting this just to be like the DC of No Way Home, almost.
It's supposed to be the movie that resets the universe.
Yeah. And then
Oh.
James Gunn gets to town, baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, I liked this episode a lot. This was nice. What is the question for this episode?
What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Okay. Yeah, what is your favorite Star Wars movie? Do we list Anchor stats? I'm going to go to Anchor right now. Jordan, say something funny.
Pickles pickles are not ticklish.
Okay. Our audience size is 39.
Nice.
Plays per episode is 8. Spotify followers 31. And 567 all-time plays. Baby girl.
Nice.
So yeah, guys, that was just a little bit of statistics from a couple places that you can find us out on, okay? If you're watching on YouTube, just find us on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts if you don't want to watch all the time. If you want to watch sometimes, follow us on Scaldstone on YouTube. Scaldstone Productions also is on YouTube, but our handle on YouTube is Scaldstone. So yeah, go check us out, baby girls. Rate us 5 stars or give us a thumbs up wherever you're listening. Share it wherever you're listening. Please, with a friend, with a stranger, giving us a rating and giving us a share, brings us to new eyes and ears. And it's the best thing you can do for this podcast. It's better than paying us, actually. It is. It really is. Because, with that help, we can get some payment from the people of Spotify, YouTube, other places. So yeah, don't give us money unless we ask for it.
Patreon is still
Patreon, eventual future T-shirts, future stickers, future all that kind of fun stuff. But until then, like us, share us, 5-star our asses. Jordan, where can we find you personally?
You can find me on TikTok. It's .justjordan.
Sweet. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat if you want to find me on Snapchat, because it's all the same handle anyways. @ @I_William Joseph. Joseph spelled JOESPH, by the way. I think it's unique and unfortunate.
Sure.
But yeah, if you're just really looking to find the podcast to follow, we're on Instagram @ Too Many Words Podcast. We're probably on some other things, but go check out thescaldstone.com for everything connected to what we do here on social media, on streaming links, on just any and all of it. Any and all of it is right there on thescaldstone.com. Jordan, who or what do you want to make this podcast episode out to?
This podcast episode goes out to, this podcast episode goes out to, I don't know.
Really, there's so many good choices.
Yeah, Kevin Feige. This podcast episode goes out to Kevin Feige.
Really?
Yeah.
This podcast episode goes out to Rocket Raccoon.
Nice.
Yeah. I got a popcorn bucket of him. He had such a great arc in this movie.
He did.
So yeah. Rocket Raccoon, this one's for you, fictional character.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, amen.
Amen on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Amen.
Amen.